What's up, marketers? In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to brief a UGC creator so that you get content that converts on Facebook ads and TikTok ads. And yes, I'm going to show you the exact brief that we use to brief our creators at Thesis. One of the most common questions I actually get about developing creative briefs for UGC creators is, should you even brief them at all, or should you allow them to have creative freedom? Now, I've actually changed my mind on this quite a bit recently, and I'm now of the belief that you need to brief your creators with as much information as possible. I mean, you don't want to give them like a 4-page document they're gonna have to digest, and you don't want to assign them homework on top of creating the actual content for your brand. But you do actually need to tell a creator what it is that you want, and examples do go a long way in helping aid that process. I think that we've found a really happy medium ground with our creators at Thesis. And to be honest, one of the core parts of our creative brief process is something that you actually can't see on the actual UGC brief, which is, in general, we tend to hop on 15-minute calls every time we are working with a new creator. So that means someone who hasn't worked with Thesis previously. And the core things that we're gonna go over with them on the brief is, telling them exactly what we want, some of the high-level brand do's and don'ts. And this is also the place where we emphasize, like, hey, you know what? We really love creators who are able to put their own creative flair on content, and we really encourage them to do that. And this is also the point where myself or our UGC producer is brainstorming with the creators and actually asking them what type of ideas they have. It is kind of a tedious step to get on a 15-minute call with all creators, but I think it's really well worth it. Another note that I have for brands and also agencies who are briefing creators and trying to get that awesome UGC content is to negotiate for the raws. Now, this is actually something that I find is a really interesting conversation between people who source UGC creators and the UGC creators themselves. I've noticed this trend where more and more UGC creators are actually charging more for the raws, even though it ultimately takes them less work to do so because they're not expected to do the editing. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, but I'm really welcome for my mind to be changed on this, because I find that right now a lot of creators are saying, no, if you're gonna make multiple ads out of my content, then I should get more money for that. But ultimately you're putting less work into it. So I'm just like not quite understanding that. And yes, I run a UGC division at a big agency, but also I am a UGC creator myself. So every time I work with a brand that's like, oh, you don't have to do the edits yourself, we just want the raws, I'm like, amazing. Here's my rate. It's definitely not the cheapest. It is what it is. But I really go the extra mile in providing them a huge library of content. And frankly, that's how I get repeat customers. Now, when I work with creators and they're like nickel and diming me on the raws and saying, oh, we're gonna charge you more for the raws, and it's just like absorbent price because they're trying to think, oh, are they gonna create 4 to 10 ads out of this? I need to charge for that. It just kind of drives me crazy. Sorry for the rant. I would be really curious to hear your POV on this, because clearly I have a lot of thoughts. Oh God, what's the next talking point? So I guess this kind of leads me to another question that I always think about, which is, do UGC creators create good ads? Meaning, are they actually knowledgeable enough to create direct response ads that convert on Facebook ads and TikTok ads? I'm not convinced either way, to be honest, because I think sometimes, especially with a platform like TikTok, there's a lot of different ad formats that are converting, and a lot of times the more organic type of ads really do convert there. But I've had problems when getting UGC creators to make edits for Facebook ads or Instagram ads, because it really is more of that direct response style of ads that tend to work there, and I just don't find that a lot of UGC creators have that on-hand knowledge. So I don't know, I'm kind of curious to hear your POV as well on that. I feel like this video is just turning into me like airing my grievances about UGC. I am a creator too. Like, I charge anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per batch of like raw content, AKA like an entire library of raw content for my clients. And like, I love doing that. I love just being able to explore the project, create a whole bunch of clips and whatever. I don't really care how many creatives they're gonna make out of it, because I like had nothing to do with that, Okay, so enough of that. I'm gonna show you exactly how we brief our content creators right here. So here is actually a UGC brief that I created for one of my clients like literally last week. And what's really dope is I actually just got the content back from the UGC creator too. And it was awesome. I was really pleased with it, and it is now with the editor so that we can get those finalized assets. So you can see right up here, there's like quite a bit of information. We have the client name, the deadline, always important, shipping details, I also love giving the website and Instagram, and also talking a little bit about the target demo. I think that this really helps just like frame the ask a little bit more for our creators. I also like to outline creative package specifications. So I always say, hey, submit via Google Drive or WeTransfer link. And I'm also really explicit about what I expect from them, since I don't expect one single video. So I want 1 testimonial and 10 B-roll clips. And if you're wondering, did I hop on a call with this UGC creator? Yes, I did. And also I was available by text for her. So she was able to send me a few shots and videos to ask if she had the setup right, which was awesome. I love working with creators that way. Now, in the content brief, I say, hey, this content's gonna be used for ads, so no posting to organic handles would be required. Very important for creators to know, by the way. It's gonna run on Facebook and Instagram ads. Now, the shooting specifications, this is the kind of stuff that you think is gonna be obvious to creators. It is not. You need to be explicit about this. Shoot in good lighting, film all content vertically. Because again, this is gonna be for Facebook and Instagram ads. Add an extra 1 to 3 seconds to the beginning and end of all raw clips. Turn off all ACs, don't add filters, avoid wearing logos, and keep your background clean aesthetic. Now, what I think is the real meat of the creative brief is I actually do create storyboards for my creators, which is right below. So I go into the testimonial. So the way that I like to structure my content with creators is to create modular content. So I have them do a testimonial. It can be either like full length or medium length. And I also give them a sample script. But again, when I was working with this creator, I emphasized with her like, hey, you can really add your own flair onto this. She followed the script like pretty similarly, which was great. It was a great script and the client loved it. So that was all good. And here I had, hey, this can be medium shot or like 1 or 2 steps back. And I also emphasize like, hey, feel free to pause. Feel free to pause between your sentences, because I don't want any creators thinking that they have to like memorize the entire thing or thinking that they have to like nail everything right. Really, the more content they can give me, the better. And really just to emphasize, hey, like make it authentic, make it genuine. You think that's obvious, but it's not. So sample script right there. And then I go through all of the B-roll clips that I must have. So here I was like, hey, I want you to be sitting down and stretching with your laptop in view. Hey, I want you to have 5 clips minimum B-roll of you working out. It could be lifting weights. It could be a little bit more low impact. It could be a little bit more cardio. And I also wanted the full body to be in frame. I was pretty explicit about that. And I gave a few other options that I had liked. I also wanted B-roll of them showing more of a healthier lifestyle. So drinking some water, eating a snack, and those were gonna be a little bit more close up. So these are what our briefs look like at Thesis. These are the briefs that I also use in my personal consulting sometimes when I am arranging for content for clients. And this has been working so far. I sometimes think it's too big and that like sometimes people aren't gonna read it, but I just know most people like skip down here and look through this stuff. I think it works, and it's definitely been getting the type of content that we want, which I'm really happy about, but I don't know. We're all a work in progress, right? So anyways, I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, please give me a like or subscribe, because those small actions really do help me out as a creator. I am, getting these videos out one day at a time for you guys, and it's honestly a pleasure. If you have any questions about being a UGC creator or about sourcing UGC creators, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. Bye.